Long before cities, highways, and modern technology changed the world, human beings survived by relying on their knowledge of nature. In the dry woodlands surrounding Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania lives one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer communities on Earth, the Hadzabe people. Their way of life has remained remarkably similar to that of their ancestors for thousands of years. As the first light of dawn breaks across the savannah, the Hadzabe camp slowly comes to life. The air is cool, and smoke rises gently from small cooking fires. Men prepare their bows and arrows, while women gather simple tools used for collecting wild foods. Children play nearby, learning survival skills through observation and experience, rather than formal classrooms. The Hadzabe live in temporary camps, built from branches, grass, and other natural materials. Rather than staying in one place, they move when food becomes scarce. This nomadic lifestyle helps them follow resources, live closely with nature, and protect the environment from overuse. For the Hadzabe, hunting is more than a way to obtain food. It is a skill, a tradition, and an important part of cultural identity. From an early age, boys learn how to craft bows from local wood and arrows designed for different types of prey. Experienced hunters spend years mastering tracking, patience, and accuracy. As the sun rises higher, a group of hunters leaves camp. Armed with handmade bows and arrows, they move silently through thorny bushes and dry grasslands. Every sound matters. Every footprint tells a story. The hunters carefully scan the ground for signs of animals that may have passed during the night. A broken branch, a fresh hoofprint, or disturbed soil can reveal the direction of a potential target. The Hadzabe possess an extraordinary ability to read these clues. What appears to be ordinary ground to an outsider becomes a detailed map filled with information for a skilled tracker. The animals hunted by the Hadzabe vary, depending on the season and availability. Hunters may pursue guinea fowl, dik-dik antelope, baboons, bush pigs, or other wild game found in their environment. Success is never guaranteed. Some hunting trips may last for hours with little reward, while others can provide enough meat to feed multiple families. Patience is one of the most important qualities of a Hadzabe hunter. They often walk long distances under the hot African sun, carefully following tracks through dense vegetation. Sometimes they must remain completely still for extended periods, waiting for the perfect opportunity to approach an animal without being detected. While the men hunt, many women and children search for plant foods. Their gathering activities provide a reliable source of nutrition and are just as important as hunting. They collect berries, baobab fruit, tubers, and other edible plants growing naturally in the landscape. One of the most valued foods among the Hadzabe is honey. Rich in energy and naturally sweet, honey is considered a special reward. Finding it requires skill, courage, and cooperation. Hunters often search for clues that reveal the location of wild bee nests hidden inside tree trunks or rocky crevices. An extraordinary partnership exists between the Hadzabe and a small bird known as the Greater Honey Guide. The bird can lead humans toward hidden beehives by calling and moving from tree to tree. Hunters follow its signals through the bush. Once the hive is found and opened, both humans and bird benefit. The Hadzabe collect honey, while the honey guide feeds on beeswax and leftover material. The discovery of a hive is a moment of excitement. Smoke is used to calm the bees before hunters carefully access the honeycomb. Golden honey drips from the wax as pieces are removed and shared. Children and adults alike enjoy the sweet taste, and the harvest often becomes a communal event. Back at camp, food is rarely kept by one individual. Sharing is a fundamental part of Hadzabe society. Meat from successful hunts is distributed among families, strengthening social bonds and ensuring that everyone benefits from the efforts of the group. Meals are often simple but nutritious. Roasted meat, wild berries, baobab fruit, tubers, and fresh honey form important parts of the traditional diet. Unlike many modern communities, most Hadzabe foods come directly from nature without processing or preservation. As afternoon temperatures rise, daily activities continue across the camp. Some hunters return from the bush carrying game, while others remain on the trail, following fresh signs deeper into the wilderness. Nearby, elders sit together, sharing stories, knowledge, and lessons passed down through generations. As evening approaches, the hunters who remained in the bush continue their search. The landscape glows with warm golden light as shadows stretch across the dry grasslands. Every movement in the distance captures their attention. A rustling bush, a distant call, or fresh tracks in the soil may reveal the presence of animals nearby. The Hadzabe know that hunting often requires persistence, and success can come at any moment. One group carefully follows the tracks of a small antelope through thorny vegetation. The footprints are clear, and the hunters move slowly to avoid making noise. Their eyes constantly scan the surroundings, while their ears listen for the slightest sound. Communication is often done through hand signals rather than spoken words. Silence increases the chances of approaching prey undetected. The Hadzabe use simple tools, but their knowledge gives them remarkable effectiveness. Their bows are crafted by hand from local wood, while arrows are shaped with great care. Every hunter develops personal skills through years of practice. Accuracy is important, but understanding animal behavior is equally valuable. Knowing where animals feed, drink, rest, and travel often determines the outcome of a hunt. Hours pass as the hunters move deeper into the wilderness. The heat begins to fade, making travel easier. Suddenly, one hunter notices fresh signs ahead. The group slows down and prepares carefully. Their movements become deliberate and controlled. Generations of experience guide every step. The surrounding environment seems quiet, but the hunters are reading countless details invisible to most visitors. Back at camp, daily life continues. Women return with gathered foods collected throughout the day. Baskets contain berries, tubers, and fruits found in different parts of the landscape. Children eagerly help sort and prepare the harvest. Food gathering provides an important foundation for survival, especially during periods when hunting is less successful. Elders play a special role within Hadzabe society. They preserve knowledge accumulated over countless generations. Around the camp, older community members share stories about animals, weather patterns, medicinal plants, and important cultural traditions. These lessons help younger generations understand both practical survival skills and the values that shape their community. Knowledge is passed down primarily through observation and participation. Children learn by watching adults and gradually taking part in daily activities. Boys often accompany hunters into the bush, while girls learn gathering skills from women. There are no formal classrooms in the traditional sense. Instead, the natural world serves as a living classroom where experience becomes the teacher. As darkness begins to fall, some hunters return carrying game. Their arrival creates excitement throughout the camp. Family members gather to see the results of the day's efforts. The successful hunt represents not only food, but also cooperation, patience, and skill. The meat will be shared among members of the community, reinforcing social bonds that are essential to Hadzabe life. Preparation of food often takes place around open fires. The smell of roasting meat fills the evening air, while conversations continue nearby. Laughter can be heard among families as they gather together after a long day. The camp becomes a place of warmth and activity under the darkening sky. Fire has always played an important role in Hadzabe life. It provides light, warmth, protection, and a way to prepare food. Throughout the evening, glowing flames illuminate faces as stories are exchanged and experiences from the day's activities are discussed. The fire also becomes a gathering point where people strengthen relationships and maintain traditions. The Hadzabe possess an intimate understanding of their environment. They recognize hundreds of plant species and know which can be eaten, used as medicine, or crafted into tools. This knowledge has developed through centuries of close interaction with the natural world. Survival depends not on controlling nature, but on understanding and adapting to it. Despite increasing contact with modern society, many Hadzabe continue to preserve important elements of their traditional lifestyle. Their culture offers a rare glimpse into ways of living that connect directly to humanity's distant past. Researchers, travelers, and anthropologists have long been fascinated by their ability to thrive using skills that have changed little over thousands of years. As night fully settles over the African bush, stars begin to appear across the sky. The sounds of insects and distant wildlife fill the darkness. Around the campfire, families continue sharing food, stories, and laughter. Tomorrow, when the first rays of sunlight touch the landscape once again, another day of tracking, gathering, hunting, and survival will begin in the ancient homeland of the Hadzabe people. We are reminded that their way of life is one of the oldest continuous human traditions on Earth. Living without permanent buildings or modern infrastructure, the Hadzabe maintain a deep connection with the land that sustains them. Every hunt, gathering, and movement is shaped by knowledge of nature, passed down through generations. Their survival depends on awareness rather than possession. Forests, grasslands, and seasonal changes guide their actions. When animals move, they follow. When plants ripen, they harvest. When water shifts, they adapt. This responsiveness creates a balance between human needs and the environment. Knowledge in the community is carried in memory, practice, and storytelling rather than written form. Elders pass down lessons through speech and example, ensuring younger generations learn skills and identity through participation. In a world shaped by technology and cities, the Hadzabe show another path of existence. Their society is small, but built on sharing, cooperation, and respect for nature. Nothing is wasted, and survival depends on the group. However, this way of life faces challenges from environmental change and outside influence. Even so, the Hadzabe remain resilient, holding their identity while adapting to new pressures. As this segment closes, their story is not a relic of the past, but a living example of human adaptability and balance with nature. It continues with each sunrise, each hunt, and each shared meal around the fire, without a final ending. Around the campfire, knowledge continues to flow through stories, songs, and daily experience. Children learn by watching elders prepare tools, track animals, and read signs in the soil. Cooperation defines every aspect of life, from hunting journeys to food sharing after a successful return. The honey guide bird remains a symbol of their relationship with nature, guiding hunters to hidden honey sources in exchange for its reward. Firelight becomes the center of community life, where laughter, teaching, and planning for the next day all take place under the night sky.